Hello and welcome to the Greater Springfield Business Connect podcast, or as we're calling it, the GSBC. This podcast is proudly brought to you by the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce and in partnership with Purple Bunny Marketing. I'm your host, Taylor-Farrington, and the owner of Purple Bunny Marketing. And today I am joined by Sarah.
Hello.
From the Hotel Commonwealth. I'll get the name right because I got it wrong at the awards night when we were chatting. Sorry.
That's okay.
But we'll dive straight into it, and we're going to talk about the exciting project that you're undertaking with the Hotel Commonwealth. So before we get too far into that, can you share a bit of history behind the Hotel Commonwealth? Because obviously it has been in Ipswich for some time.
It has. Built in 1910,
Yep.
and it's had numerous owners. There's been a lot of female publicans that have been at the helm, so I'm excited that I'm the next one, you
Yes.
know. It has gone through 2 world wars, 2 global pandemics,
Yep.
multiple natural disasters.
Yes.
Hope, touch wood, no more.
Yes.
And in July 1989, as part of so they redid the mall.
Yep.
And as part of that, the people that owned the pub at the time decided that they would renovate as well. So they renovated and rebranded. So in July 89, it became Murphy's Town Pub, which a
Yes.
lot of people know it as Murphy's.
Murphy's.
It was sort of the place you went to when there were nightclubs in Ipswich. You'd go to Murphy's and have a couple of pre-drinks and then you'd head into a nightclub.
Yes.
So it was Murphy's for a while.
Yep.
And then in there's different reasons why people say it happened, but there was subsidence, and so it started to crack down the front. So the crack went from the top to the bottom and became uninhabitable. So the council bought the building in 2014
Yes.
for $400,000.
Yep.
Bargain in today's standard.
100%, yeah.
And it sort of stood there until the council then decided that they would get it to a stage where they could get a tenant in it.
Yes.
And that's where we're at today.
Yeah. And I guess that leads into our next question, which was about the facade, because I did read an article in there where it actually had to be pulled down, and I believe it stayed at some council holding yard, and they actually restored it back to its original form and then reinstalled it. Is that correct? Yeah.
So the crack went from the very top to the very bottom, and at the top you could actually fit your arm through that's how wide the crack was.
Yeah,
it was
wow.
massive.
Yeah.
So they took it down brick by brick and they stored it all off site. So in that original part at the front, floorboards were taken, everything was taken out, and then they underpinned the foundation to make it safe again.
Yep.
And then they built it back up. So I think there's 20,000 in that front original part. There's 20,000 original bricks and 22,000 new bricks that formed that new part.
Yeah, wow.
So they've done a good job.
Yeah, they have. It's going to be exciting to see it once it opens, and be able to walk through the doors. And I guess whilst they've tried to maintain and keep that historic charm to the exterior, what can our or your guests expect when they walk through those doors? What can we kind of anticipate to see?
So there's the original part of the hotel, and then that we've extended on, or council have extended onto it. So there's a beer garden out the back, and there's a gaming room which has access off the car park. So we're paying homage to the past,
Yes.
but also bringing a modern twist. So, you know, think bottle greens and golds and marble and wrought iron. I use the word glamorous a lot. It's glamorous. Every time I say, it's going to be so glamorous. It's going to be so glamorous. So it will be beautiful. But, you know, we have given that nod. In our decor, we have very much kept so it feels warm and old but still modern.
Yeah, lovely. Okay, so What kind of experience can visitors look for in the terms of food, drinks, entertainment? What are we going to expect?
It's a pub, so we'll have pub classics. You have to have a palmy on the menu, no matter what.
Everyone wants a palmy. Everyone wants a palmy.
But we're also going to have more restaurant-style food. So we're taking inspiration from those gastro pubs in Melbourne. Okay. Where, you know, you can, they call it a palmer there, but you can have a palmy, but you can also have something, you know, a little bit elevated. And we take in again, paying homage to the past, taking old school recipes and giving them a modern twist.
Awesome.
So, it's been fun finding things out. In 1910, which is when the pub was built, it's when the first recipe of Anzac biscuits is documented.
Yep.
So I want to tie the two together and have a signature dessert with an Anzac biscuit crust. Do you know what I mean?
Lovely.
So just little things that link in the past but are not necessarily a bangers and mash. You can get a bangers and mash as a pub classic. We might do something a little bit different. You know?
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
All right, so how does the Hotel Commonwealth plan to contribute to the local community? And what role do they envision it playing for Ipswich and its surrounding businesses when it comes to tourism and in that space, I guess? Yeah.
I am all part of community. I love being part of a community. I work for, Hotel Commonwealth is owned by Oz Hotels.
Yep.
That we have the Exchange Hotel in Kilcoy, we have the Orion Hotel here in Springfield. So all of the venues are very much cemented in the local community.
Yes.
And be that from a business perspective or the community in general, I love to connect with people. That's my personality. So I like to, when you go to networking things and it's like, hello, how can I help you? That is not me at all. I just like to connect on a personal level and then connect people that I know can do business together or have something that each of them could make use of,
Yes.
And so that's the sort of feel. The bar inside is a beautiful long bar and has stools all the way along it. Yep. So there'll be traditional pub-style tables, but if you walk into the pub and you're on your own just for a quick drink, you can sit at the bar and have a chat to the barmaid. That's a terrible thing for me to say, the bar attendant. Can you tell how old I am by saying barmaid? You can chat to the bar attendant and just make a connection. And that's what we will be instilling in the staff, that, to connect with the customer is all about good customer service.
Yeah, so it's bringing back some of those old school ideals and connections that you would have once upon a time before all the apps and networking and social media where you would actually go out and network and meet people.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got a membership, so anybody can become a member at the pub.
Yep.
And you swipe a membership card and you get a discount if you're a member, and you accumulate points that you can redeem for food or bev. And so what we've done, we had a lot of people wanting us to sponsor, and we'd love to sponsor everyone, but it's just not feasible. Yes. And so what we've done is we've created a sports membership.
Yep.
And it's a sponsorship. So let's say, I don't know, ABC Hockey Club come in and they register. And then any of their members can choose to keep the points for themselves, or they can allocate the points to the hockey club.
Yeah.
And then they can redeem those for food or bev for, trophy nights or team get-togethers and things like that. Yes. So we're creating a community within our membership that not-for-profits, community organisations, sports clubs can, no matter how big or small they are, they can actually earn dollars,
Yeah, I think that's a great way of supporting the local clubs. And like you said, I mean, sponsorship comes into every business. I know we ourselves have the same thing, and you just can't help everybody. You'd love to, but you just can't.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. All right. So what exciting, events or things can we expect once the Commonwealth opens that you might have in the pipeline that you may be able to give away now or give us some insight into?
So we'll have... I hate the word VIP because everybody who comes through the door will be a VIP at Hotel Commonwealth. Yeah. But we will have an opening night that will be by invitation only, and that will be to say thank you to the builders and the suppliers and things like that. So we'll have that. That will be our first thing. We sold foundation memberships. So I talked about memberships before. We actually released 100 foundation memberships where it was at the beginning of the year. They were $20 and they paid their money and went on our database and have supported us from the very beginning.
Yes.
We'll be releasing another 100 of those about 3 weeks out from opening. So watch this space.
Definitely.
I
think I'll be trying to get one, and I know a couple of people who asked me how they could get one.
I think the first 100 sold out in 36 hours. It was just like they went gangbusters.
Yeah.
So we will have a party for them.
Yep.
Like for the 200 foundation memberships, there will be an opening party night for them.
Yes.
And then we've got Melbourne Cup Day. So it feels like it's going to be like, oh, here it is, because it'll be just after we open. So we're going to do a canapé style Melbourne Cup menu where it will be canapés of what features on our menu. So on that day, they can have a little taste sample of everything that we are going to be about.
Yep.
And then obviously the Chamber Christmas party.
Yes.
So the Chamber are hiring some buses, and the traditional Christmas party event, they'll bus everybody out to Ipswich.
Yes.
We'll have some bevies, be all dressed up in our Christmas fair, and then they'll bus you back. So that will be a great night. And obviously we're rolling into Christmas, so it's a busy time, and then New Year.
Yep.
And then we will start after New Year doing our feature event. So we've done Bubbles for Boobs down at Orion every October for about 7 years. Mm-hmm. We are going to bring Bubbles for Boobs to Hotel Commonwealth.
Yeah, lovely.
And we'll probably do that in March because we can't do it in October.
No, correct. There'll be a lot going on.
Yes, there will be.
And I guess that leads into my final question that I had for you today, which was, do you actually have an official date set yet for your opening, and can you announce it, or can you give us a bit of a rough timeline as to when the doors may open for the general public?
In the period that we've had, we've had 7 handover dates. So I'm really reluctant
I know you've hit some hurdles there.
We have, to the point that in December last year, we had an 18th of March opening date.
Yep.
So I booked a holiday to Vietnam for October of this year. I'm there from the 10th to the 21st, and that's about when we're going to open.
Yes.
So I think end of October. If you think the last week of October, we should soft open in that week. But I'm not going to give a specific date yet.
No, and rightfully so, obviously.
Yeah.
But everyone can obviously stay tuned to the socials.
Absolutely.
And once that announcement's ready to be made, it'll be there.
Yeah.
So definitely.
It's exciting. It'll be fabulous. It'll be glamorous.
It will. I'm excited. I know a lot of people in Ipswich are excited.
Yeah.
A lot of people I engage with and business owners and stuff are really, really pumped for it to open.
Yeah.
So congrats. And hopefully, fingers crossed, there's no more hiccups with the opening.
Let's go with that. Touch wood.
Well, thank you for coming in, having a chat to us on the GSBC.
Thank you for having me.
It's been great. It's always a bubbly chat with you.
That's one word for it.
Yes, you definitely don't get lost in a crowd when we catch up at Chamber. So thank you for tuning in to the GSBC podcast. Make sure that you like and subscribe to keep up to date with all the local updates to Springfield and beyond businesses.